Hazbin Hotel. In case you don't know, Hazbin is an animated project for the ages, enlisting the help of dozens of internet artists and taking several years to finally finish. Hazbin Hotel is basically a pitch for a fully animated series, and actually, it looks like it worked. In July of 2020, the creator of the pilot, Visipop, announced that the show has been picked up and will be created with the help of A24 Pictures. Cool! With all this buzz and the spooky season upon us, I couldn't help but want to go back to this pilot episode and give it a proper review. Let's look at this and see what took place to make this monumental internet collaboration come together, and what did A24 see in it that got it greenlit to become a full series. Well, let's dive into the world of Hazbin Hotel and take a look. Now before we get into the show itself, let's take a look at some background. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the creator and creative lead for the show is a lady named Vivian, or more commonly known by her internet handle, Visipop. Her style is almost immediately recognizable, and I've honestly been a fan of hers long before Hazbin. I remember her Die Young video and her Timber one, how they feel so fluid and fun. Her ambitions to make a fully realized cartoon seemed like the natural next step for her. Then along came this teaser for this little thing called Hazbin. I was almost immediately hooked. December 16th, 2017, the first animatic dropped for Hazbin, and later on April 20th, 2018, we got our first official trailer, with fully animated parts and music and everything. Visipop was making an adult cartoon. What more could I ask for? She then immediately began enlisting the help of a ton of great animators. 2 years later, on October 28th, 2019, the pilot would finally drop on YouTube, and it was good. Maybe it was the copious amounts of advertising and endless waves of merch dropping, but my expectations were pretty high. That's always a problem with things like this. When you keep advertising something over and over and over again to maintain interest, people's expectations raise higher and higher. But, you know what, let's actually take a look at the pilot proper. The pilot begins with, music. One of the most ambitious elements about Hazbin is the fact it's apparently a musically driven show. The best thing I can think to compare to is My Little Pony. Diegetic singing in-universe is in episodes regularly to help drive the plot or characters forward. The interesting thing is, I can't think of many adult cartoons that would opt for this musically driven approach. I'll touch on the music later, but I'll just say this opening song is one of my favorites. What's not my favorite is the art style for this segment. Like, I get it. It's part of this punching Judy box style they're aiming for, but it just doesn't really impress me, and it doesn't really feel like a good hook. I may like the song, but this oddly slow and somber opening is an odd way to start the show, especially since the tone for the rest of the pilot is so much more upbeat and fun. So anyways, basically this is telling us the backstory for our main character, Charlie. She's always been a failure to her dad, the devil. Yeah, our story follows the Princess of Hell. What a great concept for our setting. Visually, Hazbin goes all out with this idea for its setting, and it gives the show a ton of cool ways they could take their characters, especially with the designs.
Oh, I'm alive! I'm alive!
One thing about Hazbin you can kind of tell is it's been animated by a ragtag team. The line thickness varies so much throughout the episode, it can become pretty distracting, honestly. The animators have done a good job staying on model, which is really good, but the fluidity of the animations also varies throughout the episode. This is something I'm sure would be fixed with the full series. And we are introduced to our first character. Not Charlie? Angel Dust, what? Charlie is our main character of the show. Why would we start the episode with one of our secondary characters? What even is the point of the scene? Nothing Angel Dust says makes any sense. Angel Dust flaunts his sexually driven mindset all the time. Why would he say this?
Keep this discreet, you hear me? I can't let it get out I'm offering my services to randos on the street.
You don't want people knowing you're fucking random people? Why? What does it matter? Angel Dust flirts with every single character. Why would you not want people knowing you're having sex for money? Especially since the dude in the car implies that everyone already knows this about Angel Dust.
Whatever you say, slut.
It really feels like they wanted to establish Angel's character trait of being the big horny one, and thought of the scene, but didn't really think about any of the words being said. And like, Angel's insult towards the guy wasn't even that impressive or anything.
Let me know when you come up with something creative to call me, you sack of poorly packaged horse shit.
More words doesn't make an insult better. Also, this highlights something I hate about the animation here. Earlier I talked about Visipop's old animations and how they're really fluid. Hazbin is not. We cut to a new angle every couple of seconds, and lots of times each cut is animated by a different person, so the style is shifting little by little every few seconds, and it's weird on the eyes. And in each shot, a lot is happening. The characters move around a lot, and it's very busy to look at. Hazbin needs to really slow down with their animations and let a shot linger for a lot longer.
Those other cowardly sinners dare not hinder my territorial takeover!
What is this character? Who are you? Why is this the way we've decided to start the show? Why not establish Charlie first? We see her singing her song in the beginning briefly, but why not establish her character before throwing side characters at us? Now, Angel Dust plays a bigger role in our cast. Fine, I can accept setting him up early on. His antics do play a major role in the plot of this episode, but Snake Guy is like almost entirely pointless. We spend so much fucking time with this throwaway character. Why? He does set up the fact that Hell is overrun by gang wars for territory though. That is a big part of the premise, but 1, he does it entirely through dialogue, and 2, the news anchors also set up this premise also entirely with dialogue. Why have 2 exposition dumps over a concept in the same episode, especially when we haven't even set up the real plot yet? The point of Hazbin is to redeem people in Hell because Hell is overpopulated. Charlie wants to set up a reformation hotel to help get people out of Hell. That is what the episode should have started with, not this. Charlie doesn't even bring up this premise until around the 8-minute mark. That's way too long to establish your main plot and character. What are these sound effects? Hazbin needs to learn some restraint when it comes to their sound mixing. Every little thing gets some cartoonish bleep or bloop, and it's just like weird. The show sounds like a kid's cartoon, but it's clearly supposed to be for adults. It just creates this really weird tone for the show.
You looking for a fight, old man?
Why? Who the fuck are you now? Angel Dust, sure. He's a main character for the hotel. Serpentious? Fine. He's at least establishing the world and the gang wars. Cherry Bomb? Why the fuck is she here? She is so much of a minor character that you could scrub her out of the plot entirely, and it would probably be a better product. And yeah, I'm sure they're setting her up to be a bigger character down the line, but you don't need to introduce every tiny little character in the episode 1 when you haven't even set up our main character yet. We get a ton of characters thrown at us in the pilot. Our main cast already consists of 6 characters, so why are we spending so much time on these throwaway nobodies? Not just Cherry Bomb here, but the news anchors too. Katie Killjoy gets way more setup than Nifty. Why waste so much time of your pilot setting up unnecessary characters instead of our main cast? Anyways, we transition to said new set, and I gotta be honest, this is one of the funniest parts of the show. The pilot has plenty of jokes, but Katie's snappy animations and her delivery just hits me right in the funny bone.
You are a lip-dick jackass, Tom. Or should I say, no doubt.
It may be unnecessary to give her as much establishment as she gets, but at least she's funny to watch.
Okay, you remember what to say? Yes!
Finally! At this point, if I didn't know what the premise for the show was, I would think Angel Dust and Cherry Bomb would be our main characters, and Charlie and Vaggie were the side characters. I really wish they would have been spending this time with these 2 girls, rather than the shit with Serpentious. Charlie and Vaggie's relationship and personalities would have been a great way to start the show. At the very least, set up Vaggie's presence before this moment. I really love Charlie's design. She's adorable. They set up Charlie and Vaggie's characters really well. Vaggie's straight-laced and stern demeanor comes across perfectly, and Charlie's high energy is the same, not just through their words, but how they're animated too. As we saw earlier with Angel Dust, and again here with Katie, characters have the tendency to say a lot in one sitting. But Hazbin is an animated medium, and when they just let the characters stop talking and have the visuals tell the audience something, it works really well. Hazbin clearly understands how to let their visuals tell a story or develop the characters. Now they need to learn we don't need to have the characters just explain it to us too. We already knew Vaggie and Charlie were dating. The way they hold hands and look at each other and their little pet names here and there, It makes it apparent right off the bat. We don't need Katie spelling it out to us with this line.
You can put that away. I don't touch the gays.
God, these background characters in this scene look great. The other background characters so far have been fine, nothing special, but these look awesome. This is what I was talking about. They could have so much fun with their hell-inspired character designs for the show, and this scene proves it. So Charlie goes onto the news to advertise her happy hotel idea. Unfortunately, it really doesn't get the reception she was expecting. In an attempt to jazz up her delivery more, Charlie dives into a song and dance number, much to Vaggy's chagrin. Enter song number 2. Personally, this is one of my least favorite songs, but I do like what this song does. It establishes the premise in a punchy way that's a lot more fun than just having the characters sit around and explain it to us. It highlights Charlie's character, showing us exactly how upbeat and optimistic she is, and also sets up the fact that she loves breaking into song and dance, which is what caught Alistair's attention in the first place.
We have a patron already who believes in our cause, and he's shown incredible progress. Angel Dust.
The porn star?
I'm sure you can get that hooker to do anything with enough booger sugar and lube.
See? It's not like people don't think Angel Dust sleeps around, so why was his introduction like that? Okay, so Angel Dust wandered into the turf war with Cherry Bomb and Serpentious, which doesn't make Charlie's happy hotel pitch look very promising. And like, I get it. But also, I can't help but wonder how long the characters expected it to take to rehabilitate a sinner. Charlie mentions Angel's been clean for 2 weeks, but wouldn't it take a lot longer than that to change him? This doesn't feel so much like it's dead on arrival like how Katie implies, and more like a setback for Angel. Probably due to the fact that the only 2 people in charge of the hotel and his rehabilitation both left for the news station and let him wander around on his own. I've been harping on the pacing of introducing characters to us so much because this could have easily been in a scene in the beginning to better set up our characters. Charlie, Vaggy, and Angel are at the hotel. Charlie tells Vaggy about her spot on the news. Vaggy says she wishes she could go, but insists on staying behind to watch Angel. Angel convinces Charlie that he's been a good enough boy to be left alone, and Charlie trusts him, so she convinces Vaggy to go with her to the news station. Vaggy agrees, but only if she gets to take Angel's money, so he can't go buying drugs behind their backs. Angel agrees, and Charlie and Vaggy leave, then leading us to Angel's quick cash grab from the beginning. This way, it would hint at the idea of the hotel without the use of overly expositing it to us with the news station. It would set up Charlie, Vaggy, and Angel Dust and their dynamic with each other, and better set up the plot for the episode, having Angel regret his actions after seeing how it's negatively affected Charlie later on. It would have established Charlie and Vaggy as characters before the 8-minute mark, and the events with Angel Dust and the news story would have flowed a lot more naturally.
Where you been anyway? I thought you up and died or some shit.
Yeah, like, Cherry Bomb does nothing for this episode. This whole scene would have been fine without her inclusion. Serpentious already recognizes Angel while they're fighting, just have him ask him where he's been. And Angel's ham-fisted way of explaining the process of the hotel isn't necessary anyways.
You know, no fights, no pranks, no problematic language. Her words, not mine.
We've already set up the premise for Charlie's Hotel. There's no need to have Angel tell us this again. If they wanted to give us a list of things the hotel wants to fix about their patrons, it could have been included in a later episode, because it's unnecessary here. You don't need to try to explain everything in the pilot. We can even it out within the first couple of episodes. So things are bad for Charlie, and she and Vaggy drive Angel back to the hotel, and hey Angel, you gotta pee or something? You don't need to animate the character fidgeting nonstop with every new word they say.
Sorry, you're stuck with me, bitch. Get used to it.
What do you mean they're stuck with you? You just said.
I mean, what kind of reputation would I have if people found out I was trying to go clean?
Angel makes it pretty clear he has no interest in actually rehabilitating, so why is he even bothering to stick around? He mentions the fact they let him live in the hotel rent-free, but he's also apparently a super famous porn star. Would he not be able to find a place to live if he didn't already have one? Hell, why wouldn't Cherry Bomb let him crash at her place if he needed the help finding a place to live? This little scene with Charlie calling her mom is probably the best part of the pilot. No boingy sound effects, no forced sex jokes, no hyperactive animations. This is a great moment that gives us a deeper look at Charlie and the depth these characters could potentially go. The radio demon is cool, with a cool design, and I like the effect on his voice.
May I speak now?
You may.
Alistair, pleasure to be meeting you, sweetheart. Quite a pleasure.
Vaggie implies he's super dangerous, but she never goes into specific details about it. Even by the end of the episode, she clearly isn't happy with his inclusion to their team. The dynamic between these two could lead to a really interesting element for the show, and having us learn about his powers and everything that makes Vaggie so wary of him could lead to fun plot points for the series. What is that? Like fan art or something? Why is it here? It looks so out of place with the style of the show. What the fuck? So, the radio demon, Alistair, wants to help with the hotel because he's bored, and he wants to watch Charlie and the Hazbin patrons fail. But, he's very rich and powerful and has connections that can help them, and he's also super deadly. But Charlie's determined to stand by her morals and include him into their hotel staff, despite how dangerous it could end up being.
And what can you do, my effeminate fellow?
I can suck your dick.
Ha! No.
That is the best joke of the entire pilot. I love Nifty, she's so fucking cute. I'm so upset she doesn't get more screen time during the pilot. Why, we gotta establish Cherry Bomb, but not Nifty? I'm salty about it, okay?
You think I'm some kind of fucking clown?
Maybe.
There's the second best joke, in case you're wondering. And song number 3. And in my opinion, this one's really unnecessary. 3 songs in 1 episode is kind of a lot, and this doesn't really do anything to service our plot and characters. You could have used it to help get Charlie on board with accepting the radio demon, but she was already head over heels with his inclusion before the song even starts. And it doesn't even push the plot forward or anything. So Prentice shows up and Alistair... And the episode ends with the new crew entering the newly renamed Hazbin Hotel.
Now, stay tuned.
So, that's Hazbin Hotel, and honestly, it's jam-packed with potential. There's some obvious amateur hiccups here and there. The animation doesn't have professional level consistency, but for being a big project by a ton of different people, it's really damn impressive. Consistency aside, the style of the show is hands down the best part of the pilot. The premise is great, but it's the eye-catching pop to the world and characters that makes this worth talking about. It's ambitious as hell. I didn't even realize. With 3 full songs, it's a fun difference from the usual things seen in most adult animations. While 3 songs feel like it's a little too many for 1 episode, it's cool they have the ambition to try to attempt it in the first place. But this pilot isn't perfect. There's an over-reliance on having the characters spell everything out for the audience. The animation and natural dialogue between the characters does a great job establishing the world and the different characters' personalities. Have more faith in your animation. You don't need to halt the whole show to explain everything. The pacing of the pilot is also out of whack. Just some rearranging would help the episode a ton. Establish our main characters before throwing a bunch of side characters at us. But really, the worst thing about the pilot is its hyperactive animations. Shots that last less than 4 seconds are far too common throughout the whole pilot, and the characters move almost non-stop. Every other word, the characters will bounce around the screen. The best part is when Charlie calls her mom, because I can actually see what's happening. Show some restraint with your animations, and it'll elevate the show tenfold. But the pilot as a whole is fun. Regardless of my critique, Hazbin Hotel is full of promise. The characters are fun, and the plot is intriguing. I really am jazzed it got picked up by A24, because with some professional tweaks here and there, I think most of the gripes I have with the pilot can be ironed out. I was so harsh with my critique because I know they can keep improving this to be better and better and better. Hazbin is going to be a lot of fun, and I'm excited to see what's going to happen with it when it finally drops. And I hope you'll join me when we get there. Alrighty, thank you so much for watching this. I hope you enjoyed this video. Quick shout out to my $10 patrons. You're all awesome. Ramiel, Andrew, James Dodds, Nako, Cool Duck, Michael, Chamomile, and Valhalla Knight. I want to hear your thoughts and opinions on Hazbin Hotel in the comments below. Where did you find it? Like, did you know about Visipop beforehand? What do you think about the animation? Do you disagree with me? Do you think it's fine with how fast it is? Or like the sound effects and everything? Any and all thoughts and opinions, I would love to hear them. Leave them in the comments below. If you want to help support me, I have merch. I have lots of fun stuff. Leggings are really cool. I have a Patreon as well. There's plenty of fun tiers. You can see videos a day early. You get to see behind the scenes things. You can hear your name in the credits. Lots of fun things. If you want to help support me, go ahead and check out either of those things. Leave your thoughts and opinions in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.